and welcome to MonoRants Movies, a podcast where we rewatch our favourite cult and lesser-known films and veer wildly between praise and ridicule. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and stuck up the Scottish Highlands missing the footy is my co-host and master of none, Ciara.
Yeah, missing the footy, my arse.
Yep, today we're ranting about 2002's Dog Soldiers, and this is a big one for us. It's a MonoRants favourite, and it's a film that we've bullied friends into watching for about 20 years. And now you, dear listeners, can join this illustrious club.
The 20th anniversary of us bullying people into watching this movie.
Yep, and far be it from me to break a trend. Let's chat about ratings on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. Because
this one was surprisingly not bad.
Yeah, about goddamn time.
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomatoes, this has a 79% approval rating for critics and for audience.
Yeah, no, this guy was a bit of a slow burner. It didn't really get any of the attention it deserved upon release. It didn't even get a theatrical release in the US.
Yeah. It ran in one of the Hollywood cinemas.
Yeah, I think it debuted on the Sci-Fi Channel.
And then, Sci-Fi Channel was all it got.
Before it was like sci-fi spelt weird.
Siffy.
In the whiffy. So it did get this very kind of underground cult following.
Yeah, and now it is, especially in the UK and Europe, it has a massive cult following.
I'm pretty sure I saw this for the first time on like Film on 4, some Friday or Saturday night. It would have been like the 11 o'clock movie.
Yeah, I think my sister was the person who got me onto this, and I think she just rented it randomly not long after it came out, so probably 2003, but I do remember it was on VHS.
Yes.
That much I do remember.
It was one of the very first DVDs I ever bought.
Yeah.
Because we were old.
And one of the few films that we had both seen before we ever met each other.
Yeah, it was one of the ones we had doubles of.
But yeah, no, absolutely love this film. I mean, I know we say that about all the films that we've reviewed. No, it's true, but this one in particular
is very special to us.
Yeah, absolutely love this. It's one of the few films that we've sat around and watched repeatedly to the point where at least on 2 occasions we've been watching it in a friend's house and somebody's walked in and been like, hey, what's this film that you're just finishing watching? And we've been like, Dog Soldiers, have you seen it? No? Alright, sit down, we're going back to the start.
And everybody stays to watch it, even the people who've just finished watching it are like, yeah, I can stay and watch this again.
Yeah, literally watch this film, back to back, gone right back to the start and watched it again a couple of times. And as I said, with other people who've been like, yeah, I'll watch it again. It's just so much fucking fun.
It is a funny film.
Yeah, and also the first, for me, and I think for you, the first thing that we saw both Sean Pertwee and Kevin McKidd in.
And for me, the first thing I ever saw Liam Cunningham in as well.
Oh yeah, the first thing I ever saw Liam Cunningham in, to the point where we had watched this film and loved this film for a good, 7 or 8 years, and then we sat down to watch The Wind That Shakes the Barley, which is an Irish Civil War film, and Liam Cunningham is in it. And we were like, damn, he does a really, really good Dublin accent. An amazingly good Dublin accent. Yeah, looked him up on IMDb, it was like, oh, he is Irish, in which case he does a really good English accent in Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, it's eerie actually, because we have a special edition DVD of it with director's commentary and cast interviews.
Yeah.
And he has never lost the accent, and it's a very specific part of Dublin that accent.
Oh yeah, it's a North Dublin accent.
That accent holds a lot of very, very fond memories for me too. So yeah. I have the added bonus of getting to listen to him talk. Yeah. In his normal accent, and then they have it cut with scenes from the film, and the shift in accent is actually jarring.
Oh, it's whiplash, because it is. It's that convincing that. Well, I mean, maybe English people don't find it as convincing, but I genuinely did not realize
he can shout in an English accent. That's what's impressive, because no other Irish actor, no matter how hard they try, can shout in anything other than an Irish accent.
Yeah, and Michael Fassbender, one of our most talented in X-Men First Class, when he walks out of that submarine and starts yelling about whatever he's yelling about, it is an Irish accent.
The Kerry comes out of it because he's from Killarney, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. But Liam Cunningham, one of the few who can manage to shout not in an Irish accent.
And shout in a very, very terrifying and immediate manner. When he's at the very start, when he's telling him to shoot the dog.
Yeah.
Dad. was very scary.
Yeah, no, Liam Cunningham is great in this. And as I said, first thing we saw Sean Pertwee and Kevin McKidd in, and have just been in love with them in practically everything they've been in since.
One of the main reasons I watched Rome, aside from the fact that it was BBC and HBO making this insane, historically accurate epic, was Kevin McKidd was going to be in it.
Yeah, no.
As one of the main characters. And ended up falling in love with that.
Yeah, and I think I said during Bunraku, not all of Kevin McKidd's roles, because I don't watch Grey's Anatomy or whatever thing he's on, and he's in rom-coms and shit.
I think it was Grey's Anatomy.
But some of his other roles, obviously Bunraku, which we covered, this in particular.
He's in Trainspotting as Johnny Swan.
Yeah, Trainspotting, and in fact that was why they got him for this, I think, was that Neil Marshall was a big fan of Trainspotting. And
I think one of the producers had also seen him in Trainspotting, was like quite down with having him.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it a ton of times during this record, but this is just such a fucking fun film.
It's so well written.
It is. No,
it's dialogue. The dialogue in this is amazing.
Yeah, of all the films we've covered so far, I think this is the most well written. The script is just fantastic.
I think this is our most quoted film.
Definitely. And there are so many quotable lines in it. We'll probably throw out a few, but maybe not too many, because I don't want to spoil them for people who haven't watched the film yet. But speaking of spoilers and non-spoilers, there's something we should address here. I think I owe you a little bit of an apology, because I gave you shit in the Event Horizon record for the inability to give short summaries.
Oh, I'm putting up a photo of this to accompany. Because this is unbelievable. The amount of text on this cover.
Yeah, the summary on the back of the Dog Soldiers DVD. I'm going to give you my summary first, and then Ciara's going to give you the Dog Soldiers summary.
The IMDb summary is the shortest one. Yeah, it's a sentence.
Yeah, the IMDb summary gives nothing away. And if the film wasn't called Dog Soldiers, you wouldn't even know it was about werewolves. Yeah. But, so I'll go my summary, and then we'll go DVD summary, just to illustrate the point. So, during what seems like a routine army exercise in the Scottish wilderness, a squad of soldiers encounter a terrifying new enemy. With the help of a solitary local and a shady special forces captain, they must attempt to survive the night with only an old farmhouse for shelter. So yeah, 2-3 sentences, gives you everything you need to know. Not get too specific about the werewolves, but the film is called Dog Soldiers.
Yeah.
So, Ciara, take it away.
Okay, right, this is going to take me a minute.
Yeah, this is going to take a while.
A band of British soldiers are sent to the Scottish Highlands on special training manoeuvres. Their biggest worry, stuck in the middle of nowhere and missing a vital England v Germany World Cup qualifier. Things take a turn for the worse when they stumble upon Captain Ryan, who appears to be the sole survivor of a special operations team that were literally torn to pieces. Ryan refuses to disclose the secret behind his mission, even though whoever, or whatever, ate his men seems hungry for seconds. Help arrives in the form of local girl Megan, who shelters them in a deserted farmhouse deep in the forest. But when they realise that it's home to a pack of bloodlusting werewolves, it's apparent their nightmare has just begun. Can they hold out until first light? How much ammunition do they have left? Who is Captain Ryan? And more importantly, did England beat Germany? Dog Soldiers fuses wicked black humour with edge-of-the-seat slasher horror in the vein of The Evil Dead. Starring Sean Pertwee, Kevin McKidd and Liam Cunningham as the Twisted Ryan, it'll leave you howling for more. God!
That was literally a minute of you non-stop talking. That is beat for beat everything that happens in the first hour and 15 minutes of the film.
It's a 2-hour long film.
And I mean, I know we say we're a non-spoiler rant, but I think anything that's mentioned in there...
that's fair game.
That's fair game, yeah. That is crazy. That is the most... that's a synopsis.
The only one, because I looked through the other DVDs that we have, just...
not all of them, I hope.
No, but the older ones.
Yeah.
And the only one that comes close to this amount... Nosferatu has, a line on it.
Yeah.
That's, just WF Murnau's, blockbuster hit or whatever. It's, it's Nosferatu. You know what the fuck it is. The only one that has anything similar to this size is M. And that's actually just explaining Fritz Lang's M.
Yeah.
And that's just explaining what it is.
And its importance in cinema and stuff.
And also the fact that it's in High German and they've done the best to make sure the subtitles are accurate. But,
The only thing that I can think is because this... It did pretty well in the UK on a cinematic release.
Yeah.
and it got its release in America. I think by the time maybe the DVD release came around,
they were just pinning everything on people, picking it up and reading the back and being like,
they knew they had a good product on their hands and they only had the back of the DVD to sell it, so they wanted to give you plenty is the only thing that I can think for that ridiculous amount of detail.
There would have been no theatrical trailers, there would have been probably no marketing push the way you would have gotten with billboards, posters, TV spots, magazine ads, all of that sort of thing. And it's not like now where you get these independent films or smaller films coming out, but they've got smaller markets. I don't think the likes of the Saturn Film Festival or anything like that were big as they are now.
This film has definitely found its audience, though.
Oh, yeah.
In the year since its release, because...
Brilliant Halloween night film. For a group of mates hanging out, you want to watch something that's like stupidly funny, but in the spirit of Halloween, watch this.
But even on Twitter, there was a thread about people's favourite werewolf movies.
Oh yeah, this came up
loads. Dog Soldiers came up loads, way more than I was expecting. So it's probably one of the best known of the films we covered, with the exception of maybe Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Another cult film.
But the other thing that helped this was after he made this...
He made The Descent.
Which did...
That upped his profile, definitely. And I think a lot of people went back to Dog Soldiers.
And now, I'm not a massive fan of The Descent.
It'd be my least favourite of his first three films, being this, The Descent, and Doomsday.
I am not a fan of suspense, horror, shit in the dark. That is not an idea of fun for me. So The Descent, I watched it thinking it would be like Dog Soldiers and it would be funny.
No.
And it's not.
It's a good, it is a really good horror flick. It's
not my type of horror movie. And it wasn't, when I sat down to watch it, it wasn't what I expected. But The Descent did do really, really well. And that people then started to look at this one he had done previously that had a very cult recognition behind it. And that's where it managed to kind of gain a lot of popularity after that. And then he went on to do Doomsday, which is almost like this and The Descent melded together. You've got...
Well, it's definitely more
on the Dog Soldier side of funny.
But yeah, The Descent just never really clicked with me. I don't know what it is. It's not a bad film. It's a really good horror film, but...
And I will never forgive that tour guide in New Zealand. When we were going caving, and as we were making our way into the dark and spooky cave, he was like, "Hey, has anyone seen The Descent?"
Yeah, you weren't happy with him at all.
No, I wasn't.
But this is especially because this was Neil Marshall's first film.
Yes.
He had been working as an editor. He wrote, directed and edited this, and he had been working as an editor and had done a ton of drafts on this. He had been knocking it around for like 5 or 6 years.
I think the first draft had been finished in like 1996.
Yeah, pretty much since 1996 he had his first draft finished and had been knocking it around, reworking it, getting financing and stuff for it. And I would say it's as near to a perfect film for what it is as we've covered. It's got everything.
Yeah.
It's got gore, it's got action, it's got werewolves, it's got horror, it's believable.
Yes. You care about these characters. You want them to survive this. You actually do
most of the characters.
Yeah. Like, you feel for the ones you're supposed to feel for. The ones that are supposed to be assholes are clearly assholes from the start.
Yeah, like everybody is...
There's no pretense on anybody.
Megan would probably be the only character that I don't like. The rest of them are all great.
Yeah.
1 or 2 of them are a bit meh, but they're not necessarily... The only ones I don't like aren't around for that long either.
But it was a very small budget film as well for the time.
It's like $2.5 million, I think.
Which I know we say that's a small budget because now you can do stuff like they've proven they can make movies on like iPhones and things like that. But for the time and for the amount of stuff they blow up in there. You
could make a lot more for 2.6 million now than you could when this was made. But at the same time, you still have... It is still a small budget because you've got like...
They had 3 full werewolf costumes with animatronics in the heads.
Yeah.
It's all done in camera.
Yeah, no, there's... Again, we keep talking about this, but in-camera effects. Just so much better.
Like, that's going to eat up a big chunk of your budget.
And the werewolves don't look amazing or anything.
But they're used so well.
Yeah, and the film doesn't take itself so seriously that it's trying to sell you these things as completely terrifying werewolves. But they look great.
Yeah.
And there are some shots in particular where they're framed in kind of like fog and light behind them that they just look beautiful.
Silhouette is really, really fun on them because they have the big long, like lean legs with the big barrely chest and then the long fingers.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they've got the big shoulders with the power in them and this big mane sort of fur ruff that you would expect.
Yeah.
And then they're super, super fast too.
Yeah, I like that you don't see an awful lot of them in it. And it was an active choice by Neil Marshall. And one of the quotes he has in like the cast and crew interviews that I really like
is one about Alien?
No, the one about how he was making a soldier film with werewolves in it, not a werewolf film with soldiers in it. And that comes across very obviously in how the soldiers are portrayed, but also in the werewolves, in that we...
Babu, shut up!
In that we don't see them a lot. And we talked about it during Event Horizons record. The monster is always scarier in your head. Yes. And there aren't very many full shots of the werewolves in this. It's a lot of quick shots and arms and flashes and stuff. Towards
the end, you do start to get more of the full body shots, but it's very quick and you're really invested at that point.
Yeah, and
it's the same thing. It's the first Alien film. The scariest thing about it is that you never see the xenomorph. You only ever see little glimpses.
Yeah, the monster is always scarier in your head.
Yeah. Which is why Alien 3 is such a fucking travesty.
As much as the lack of exposure of the monsters helps sell it, it's really the characters in this film that sell it. They are just so much fun.
They're all really fleshed out and believable as a group of people who've spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, even...
The bickering between them, and it's a group of mates.
Even Bruce, who has like the least characterization, I'd say, of a lot of them, is still, you get the impression of him that he's kind of the deep one, the philosopher of the group.
Yeah.
From like the campfire scene, the things he's saying in that.
Yeah.
And he also has one of my favourite lines in the film, does Bruce, when they come across Ryan's team that's been torn apart. It was mentioned in the Dog Soldier summary, so I can talk about it. When they come across Ryan's team and they're all over the floor and there's guts and everything. And
it looks like a cow exploded.
But when Bruce...
Like, that's the only way I can describe it, is there's like bits and it like... Not just it's very obviously sausage links that they've used.
Yeah.
It's hilarious and like because there's blood and gore everywhere, and it's all sticky and it's on like they're trying to walk through it and it's stuck to them. It's dripping off the trees like this place is destroyed.
That scene in particular looks beautiful. But I think my favorite bit about it is when Bruce steps in some of the guts and looks down and goes, "Jesus Christ, Sarge!" It's just, the delivery of it just gets me every time.
Yeah, because that's the bit when you start going, oh shit, because these are professional soldiers. These are men who risk their life every day. They're British Army. They've probably Sarge is the only one who's actually seen active combat, I think.
He's the only one who talks about it.
Yeah.
And Terry is definitely supposed to be green. I'd imagine Cooper will have seen combat, but hasn't gotten any command yet.
But these are big, tough guys who are trained to go up against big, scary things. And he's visibly shaken.
Yeah.
And you're going, oh, Jesus. Also, they're supposed to be on a training exercise. They have safety weapons, so they don't actually have live ammunition.
At that point,
and the first thing they do upon coming across this
shit show
is grab the live weaponry.
Yeah, straight away.
They go, fuck, there's a weapon, having that.
Yeah,
and everybody does it. And it's like, just get all the shit.
And incidentally, Bruce is Bruce Campbell, named for, obviously,
the mighty
Ash.
Chin.
Yeah, and we threw around a couple of other names, so we should probably get into characters there.
Them all, yeah.
So, Sergeant Wells is Sean Pertwee. He's the leader of the group, and much like Captain Miller, being a great space captain, Sergeant Wells is a damn good sergeant. He plays it. The concern for his men is never oversold. He's kind of got the caring father aspect to it, but again, without it being too heavy-handed.
He looks after them, and they respect him for that, and they know, like, you get that when they first get off the helicopter when they're dropped, and there's the bit of banter about them synchronizing watches and Spoon not having a watch. And he's like, shit, I left me watching the barracks, and Sarge gives him his. Yeah. And he's like, well, what were you doing? He goes, well, I'll count, won't I?
Yep. That's also supposed to be a subtle nod because Sarge is Sergeant Harry G. Wells.
You never hear his name or his initial because they're all referred to, even in the credits. It's all just surnames.
Yeah, and Sarge is just Sarge the whole way through. Yeah. They all call him Sarge. But yeah, he's H.G. Wells, Sergeant H.G. Wells. And the joke there being that if he gives away his watch and is going to count himself, he is a time machine.
Yeah.
A little bit cheesy guy, but so that's Sarge.
They're all like, they're doing their thing, but they're all like shooting the shit with each other. But when he says it's time to go, they're all like right on it.
Yeah, everybody nuts up and just gets gone. But yeah, no, Sarge, Sean Pertwee plays the command role so well in this.
Yeah. No,
I
totally fell in love with him in this, and this was basically from that point on, if he was in something that I was interested in watching it, I'd watch it because he was in it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And same with Kevin McKidd.
Yeah.
And Private Cooper is our guy, our main protagonist. He's the first person we see in the film. When we're introduced to him, he's trying out for special forces.
He's on a evade capture thing.
Yeah.
Basically, they get sent out to evade capture for as long as they can. It's like
kind
a
of in the name.
Yeah, and it's a really nice fight scene where he beams your man with that mag light, and it's one of those fucking steel ones that takes the massive batteries.
Yeah.
He broke his jaw.
Oh yeah. No, that's a heavy torch.
And this is when we get our introduction to Captain
Ryan as well.
Ryan, and there's a really nice interaction between them that results in Cooper failing and being returned to his unit.
Yeah, and it sets up fairly effectively and within the very start of the film.
The type of man Cooper is.
Yeah, Cooper is a man of conscience.
Yeah.
And moral, and Ryan is a man of means justifies the ends.
Yeah.
And he says that himself. He says he needs men of actions, not deeds.
Yeah. So you get that from the get-go.
Yeah, and Ryan as well, he's a very kind of, he could be very mustache twirling-y, but again, Liam Cunningham just plays him so convincing.
He doesn't go the full Skeletor.
No, he's just a dirty rat bastard.
Yeah.
And you really believe him as this slimy git who will do anything that he has to and only give out as much information as he needs to. And yeah, Liam Cunningham just plays him so well. He's an absolute bastard of a character.
Oh, yeah.
And they're kind of your main three important characters. And then the rest of the troop, the lads are just so much fun. You've got Spoon.
Yeah, Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, your resident nutcase.
Oh, he's so much fun. He's small, he's fast, he's very, very loud.
Yeah, and then you've got Joe, who's the footy-loving smart mouth of the group.
Oh, Joe.
And Joe and Spoon they're the two that I love the most of the rest. I'm like, Terry's kind of fun, and Bruce is a bit meh, but Joe and Spoon are just great. They're class. They have some of the best lines in the film.
They do. They both have some really, really nice moments as well.
Yeah, some of the best banter with each other as well.
Yeah. Some of the best fight scenes.
Yes, definitely. And they're almost portrayed as like brotherly, the way they're constantly
they're brothers
on
in
each
arms.
other.
They're that pairing.
Yeah, and then the only other two in the squad are Bruce, who, as I said, is the kind of philosopher deep one of the group. And
is he the radio operator?
He's their radio operator, yeah. And then Terry, who is
because the radios are damaged so early on that I always forget which one is, because he's actually taking it apart to try and see if he can fix it, and you can see like he's there sitting in amongst all the body parts, trying to fix the radio. I always forget who it is because all the radios are fucked and they don't become an issue. They're never referred to again.
Yeah, they don't really go into specifics of roles within the squad. No. Sarge obviously is in charge. You get the impression that Cooper is his kind of second in command.
Yeah.
Terry's the new guy, and Bruce is the scaly back, the radio operator. So I'm guessing that Joe and Spoon are just the muscle.
Well, Joe
is maybe one of them is a munitions guy.
Spoon seems to be the one that always has munitions checks.
True, yeah. So he's probably the armourer.
He's the one who does the check at the campsite, and then he does the second count on the kitchen table. Yeah. And then he's the one who's also sent off to look for weapons when he finds the sword. And he's got the sword and it's an old
it's like an old frying pan.
No, do you know what it is? It's an old bed warmer. It's one of the it's the bronze ones, that you put the coals in, which would have been a really good weapon. If you keep it hot, you could lamp the shit out of we have to get one of those.
Yep. But then the only other character and the only non-military character is my least favourite is Megan. Yeah. The girl who kind of saves them from the chase sequence.
She's kind of the vehicle that moves the plot along beyond it being a simple survival horror.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, no, she is important to the plot. Yeah. And sometimes it does feel like she's just a vehicle for the plot rather than being a character in and of herself. Yeah. She's probably the weakest written as well. She's got some terrible probably the only bad lines in the film are delivered by her. Yes. And I'm not blaming her. I don't know, maybe like Neil Marshall might just not be great at writing women. Or certainly back then.
Yeah. Or could have been pressured to change the script.
And there was I saw in the trivia.
Silent Hill is the same. Sean Bean, the only reason Sean Bean survives in Silent Hill is because he was written in, because apparently
the only reason Sean Bean is in it,
because the script didn't have any men in it. You could almost see the reverse happening with something like Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, they wanted to have a female character
in there. Somebody to save.
And I know there was some bits in the trivia about Neil Marshall saying that the producers did add some story elements around her that he wasn't happy with.
Yeah, and
I won't go into them because they're not covered in the summary.
No, but it does make sense when you're aware of that, and you're watching it. You can see where it's a little bit kind of jumpy, her character.
And there were some elements of her character I know that were to be used to set up potential sequels.
This was supposed to be a trilogy.
And then there were other elements of her character that got kind of under-explained, I felt, that are fleshed out when you read through the trivia.
Yeah.
But also there was issues, again, I think, to do with like producers and cuts around not just her motivation, but shit, that's spoiler territory. Her character just never really, especially compared to all the other ones who are so believable.
Yeah.
I never bought her character properly.
She's very wooden.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's partly script, partly actor, partly direction, or maybe I don't feel she adds enough to the film, but she's the weakest link for me. She's the only weak link in this film for me is Megan. I don't really like her.
I even feel sometimes that her performance doesn't live up to the others. Now, don't get me wrong, she is no Emu O'Hara. She does move in dangerous situations.
Yeah.
With at least, and she can use a weapon.
Yeah.
She doesn't just sit there on the fucking bed covered in a sheet being like, oh, well, it was me.
She has a couple of, she does have a couple of good scenes, and she does have a couple of good lines.
Her introduction scene in the Jeep when she's stuck in the mud.
That's probably her best bit, actually. Yeah.
And she's trying to. And
she
Cooper's
really sells the panic. And
Cooper's next to her, very calmly giving her instructions on how to get the Jeep unstuck, while all the rest of them are bailed in the back, and there's a werewolf on the top of it, and it's all panic going on. That's probably my favourite scene because she's listening to him, she's focused, and she's doing what she's doing. Yeah. And it's really, really well done.
Yeah, no, that is probably one of the best bits. And I think one of her worst bits is there's a bit where Spoon...
It's that time of the month.
Oh, no, that's definitely the worst bit. Her last kind of bit in the film is terrible.
Sam Carter, just because my genitals are on the inside, levels of cringe.
Yeah, it's pretty cringy. But that aside, I think her worst bit is the bit where Spoon...
Her worst bit?
Her worst bit. When Spoon is outside the house and he's running her back to get in. And
move your arse,
she screams out, move your fucking arse, soldier. And it just... it's so bad. The delivery is so bad. And the only thing that makes up for it is when Spoon gets back into the house, he looks at her and goes... Oh, I love it when a posh bird talks dirty.
Yeah, that's the only saving it. Yeah,
that saves it really well because
I love Spoon. He's a bit of a bloke. He's a bit of a geezer.
Yeah, Spoon and
he's
Joe
a cheeky chappy.
They're not the comic relief characters, but they do provide some of the best levity in the film.
Yeah,
and they have some great lines, but just some of the lines of dialogue in this are just so fucking brilliant.
It's all banter, and it's all banter that's so believable because you've said shit like that to your mates.
Yeah, and it's they sell it as it's a group of lads. They're a tight knit group of soldiers.
They have to be. They watch each other's backs. But
it makes it more believable when they are shooting the shit and
the retreat to the tree line.
Oh, before we talk about how fun that is, just sticking with the various lines of dialogue. What I love as well is all the throwaway lines of dialogue when they are like variously getting attacked by the werewolves, and they're like, "Oh, just fuck off!" and go away. And just some of the shit that comes out is just it's never really. Yeah, it's never really focused on and like made a big deal of, but there's some great throwaway lines that are funny, and then there's great throwaway like soldier lines, like in the chase scene where you're talking about, where they're tagging out as
they're moving two casualties at high speed to the tree line while engaging it with the enemy. And they're tagging as they're moving, so they're all taking turns providing cover, moving. And it's done so well. And the main reason it's done so well is because a lot of the crew were ex-military. Yeah. And it's actually them in that scene.
But it's done,
so they're actually doing it correctly.
It's done beautifully because they're all moving in a perfectly straight line so that they can all maintain the same line of fire to the point where they're literally like even jumping over each other. Each of them is yelling relative commands.
It's clear. It's not.
That's clear, concise, and straightforward to the point where they actually find Megan.
Yeah.
I think it's Spoon
On
who sees
me.
the van and he just yells, "On me, on me, on me."
When you look at other war films or soldier films, that would have all been chaos and everybody running whatever which way. Or it's kind of that cliche of driving films that are made for the US and there's lots of gear changes.
Yeah.
Normally when you see like soldiers doing a retreat or something like that, it's generally just fucking cheese it and they're all going for it. This having something being shown in a realistic fashion,
especially for,
really helps add to the fact that these are soldiers in a like they're treating this as a combat scene.
Yeah, and especially, I think I said it during watching the film, that for a film that's not a specific war film, the way the soldiers are portrayed is just so bang on. Yeah. And like, even at the start, when they jump out of the helicopter, they all take up positions straight away. They know it's an exercise, they know they're just about to start, but still, from the second they get out of the helicopter, everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Except for Terry.
Terry's kind of shit.
Terry's kind of shit at his job. But even Terry being shit at his job is set up well.
Yeah. He's not like dangerously bad at his job.
He kind of is.
Okay, yeah.
He kind of is, but it's set up, it's very subtle as well, because it's not something that I picked up on any of the first couple of watches of the film. And it was one of the things that a friend of ours always, one of the things that he thought wasn't very like soldier-like behaviour was somebody standing in front of a window. Like that was very obvious.
With his back to it?
His back to it. And that's Terry doing that. And Terry is bad at his job, and you see it early on.
Terry's situational awareness is not great.
No, and he's not good with blood, because he vomits all over Ryan's head at one point.
That is brilliant.
And at one point, when they're in the house and they're kind of checking their surroundings and seeing what's what, Terry's basically told, "Go and make tea, will you, Terry?"
Well, no, first of all, he's tasked with, like, monitoring the front of the house.
And he fucks that up.
He fucks that up royally. Like, royally.
But they don't...
There's nothing made of it.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that Terry's shitness is almost too subtle.
Yeah.
If somebody had made... Like,
the whole situation is a complete and utter clusterfuck.
Oh, it is.
But Terry's lapse was like the cherry on top of the clusterfuck.
Yeah, and it's not the biggest spoiler. Terry's supposed to be watching out the front, and the Land Rover they've arrived in gets ripped apart by werewolves right outside the front of the house.
Oh, like straight through the bonnet, like.
And Terry's supposed to be watching, and this Land Rover is like shredded to pieces, and there's no way that Terry couldn't have seen or heard it if he was actually doing what he was supposed to be doing.
He's supposed to be watching. He's supposed to be watching out the kitchen window, and the house happens to be a very similar shape to our house. And I tried this.
It's right at the front.
From where it's supposed to be parked, there's no way he didn't see that if he'd actually been doing his job.
Yeah, but you pointed out nobody calls him out for it.
Nobody calls him out for it.
Had somebody been like, Terry, you were supposed to be watching that, you might have been like, okay, yeah, so not only is Terry the green guy, he's also not great at his job guy. Yeah. And I suppose being too subtle is better than the alternative.
Oh, yeah.
Of beating us over the head with how crap he is at his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the few criticisms I would have of this film is Terry's stupidity is perhaps a bit too subtle, and Megan's not great. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. And like you said, it's all the stuff that sells the soldiers really helps sell everything else. Because when you believe the soldiers...
You believing their reactions to things, in particular, like the voice quaver, when they come upon Ryan's base, them being scared, being visibly shaken by that, because they're supposed to be on a fucking training maneuver. And the whole reason they find Ryan's base of operations is because they're camped up for the night. They still believe they're on a regular training maneuver. They're telling scary stories. And then a cow lands in the middle of it on top of their campfire.
The cow bit is just fucking brilliant.
Because they're down in like a little lee of a gully, and they have their campfire, and they're all laying out on their bivvies, like chilling
just chatting,
out. They're talking about what they're scared of, and Cooper's afraid of women and spiders and spider women. And then Sarge has the story about his mate, and that is a chilling story. Yeah. And you do not, like, that's similar to other stories I've heard from other people within the military when you hear, those few things that stay with them, it is very much one of those. And it's this real somber mood. And then Spoon then starts telling it like a dirty joke, and it lightens the mood for everybody. And then this cow lands in the fucking middle of the campfire. He just falls out of the heavens.
Terry nearly shits himself and starts firing blanks at the cow. Where were you going with that?
Oh, so they're kind of like, fuck it, the whole cow, they pack up and the cow has...
Oh, it's left a blood trail.
It's left a blood trail because it's actually been eviscerated. And Wells is like, well, I want to see where it's going because I'm curious and it's in the same direction. So fuck it, we're going to check it out because something tore this cow to shreds.
Yeah, and then they see the flare go up and that's how they find Ryan.
Yeah, they're like, they see the flare going up and they're like, oh, what the fuck, what now? And that's when they come upon this Black Ops base camp and fucking devastation that has occurred there.
Yeah.
And this is where they find Ryan, who has a brilliant introduction.
Just screaming, emerging out from behind boxes.
Just and waving a gun about, and then he's like, save me! And collapses behind it.
When they're patching him up at the start, his franticness is brilliant.
There's only supposed to be one.
Yeah, and the way he sells that is great as well.
He is on death's door.
It all ties into just how well it's sold makes it believable.
Yeah.
So his delivery of it and the realism of the soldiers and all of it just adds to this the sum of its part.
Yeah, because the whole way through that scene where they're searching the camp and they're trying to find the radios, and they also find out that their radio has been chipped, which means that the special forces guys were following them anyway. Yeah,
but that's where they pick up all the guns as
that's
well.
Where they basically get all the live ammunition, get everything. But during that whole sequence, you've got Spoon yelling, Sarge, 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 and they're going, not now, and he's like, it's 2 hours till sunset, Sarge.
I think it's even a half an hour.
And everyone goes, oh shit! Right, and then they're like, right, quick, Gabby can, let's get him moving, let's go.
Oh yeah, they hear the horrible howls.
Oh, the screamy howly things.
And then we get that beautiful chase sequence where they're being chased by the werewolves and tagging along and firing back, and you never see quite what they're firing at. And
it is just frantic, but they're still doing their job.
Yeah, and I love it's the frantic stuff in this film that I really love. Like when they're in the Land Rover and the werewolf's on top and shoves its hand through the roof, and they're like, "Shit it, stab it, fucking kill it." There's
somebody kicking it, like they're just like, "Fucking stop it!" And meanwhile, that's all going on in the car, in the back of it, because it's one of those ones with the bench seats, so they're facing inwards. And then you've got Cooper with her at the front, trying to keep her calm and trying to rock the Land Rover out of the little gully it's stuck in.
And it all happens within like kind of a 10 or 15 second period. And none of it is like other films might focus really on how stuck we are and just be about the two of them trying to... But everything is just so frantic and so manic, and it really adds to it. Yeah. And there's a couple of bits later on that I love, like when they're boarding up the house.
Oh, when he's nailing the door and the hand comes through the letterbox, he just starts hammering it.
He just starts smashing the werewolf hand with the hammer.
There's a few bits like that where they're doing something and they see something out the corner of their eye and they just start doing it faster.
Yeah.
Just like, oh shit.
It is, yeah. It's that frantic manicness about this film that I love as well. Oh. And it's a film that's chock full of references as well. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And Neil Marshall said that he
shoehorned them in.
Yeah, he went a bit crazy. And but none of them are super obvious. The Zulu ones are obvious.
But Zulu is mentioned within
it's
the
mentioned,
film.
specifically
There's
within the
film. There's a couple of really nice aliens.
Yeah, there's references. A good few aliens references with like the
generator going out
and the
short controlled bursts.
Yeah, short controlled bursts.
Also, the tactic that they use, the testing.
Star Trek gets a reference when Spoon talks about Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah.
And there's just so many film references. And then obviously...
Well, Spoon.
Yeah, you've got your Matrix reference with Spoon. But thematically, you've got a whole bunch of fairy tale references as well, with three little pigs obviously holed up inside a house trying to stay safe from werewolves.
Little pig, we've come to nick your video.
And obviously, there's the line... Goldilocks is mentioned because they broke into the house.
Little Red Riding Hood, which is one of your favourite lines from this.
And then the little Red Riding Hood line, and obviously Bruce goes off the beaten path and gets punished for it.
Yeah.
And so there's quite a lot of fairy tale references, and it's chock full of references. Bruce Campbell we already mentioned, H.G. Wells we already mentioned, but none of them are
the Uath, the surname of the family.
Yes, it's a Celtic name, and it's for like...
It's Scots Celtic, so I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think it's to do with like change and regeneration and rebirth, which would make sense given werewolves, and probably something to do with the moon as well. But yeah, there's so many little things like that.
She plays Claire de Lune.
Yeah, which is
the moon ballad.
Yeah, Moonbeam. But yeah, there's so many little clever things like that worked in, and loads of them I wouldn't have picked up on had I not just sat and read through the trivia.
Yeah,
and there is a ton of trivia on IMDb for this film.
But there was an actual making of. There was a lot of making of footage shot at the same time. Wasn't the norm. It's not like now where it's the norm that you shoot all the making ofs and things like that, and people expect all these featurettes and that sort of thing. That wasn't really done, especially not on smaller independent films. And
I think the director's commentary is where a lot of the trivia on IMDb comes from as well. But there's tons of great trivia in there. Like, and particularly one of the ones I was quite fond of was that there's a scene where Cooper comes across a bunch of corpses in the basement.
Yes.
And they are corpses from Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Which we covered and which Sean Pertwee was also in.
Yeah, but Kevin McKidd was also in Bunraku.
And Ron Perlman was in Bunraku and had a voice in Crying Freeman.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely been some crossover. Are there any other standout moments for you in this? Obviously, we've talked a lot about the accuracy of the soldiers and how that really helps sell it.
In terms of just brilliant scenes, Sarge gets disemboweled. And they're trying to stuff it all back in. And he's going, but it won't fit!
It came out of there, it'll fit back in.
And they tape him all back up and they're hauling ass. But when they get him finally into the house and they're going upstairs to fix him.
Yeah.
And they're taking him up the stairs to glue him back together, basically.
Yeah.
With super glue. And Megan's trying to wrestle the bottle of whiskey off him because it's the only thing they have to give him for the pain.
Yeah.
And Sean Pertwee had actually asked Neil Marshall for permission to have a couple of drinks before this scene. Neil Marshall said he doesn't know exactly how many drinks were involved.
It's probably for the best that he was drunk
because Kevin McKidd actually did knock him out on that second punch.
I don't know if he knocked him out, but he definitely connected and connected hard with the second punch.
Yeah.
And there was another nice little bit of trivia.
It's just that whole thing where it's like, is it your birthday, Coop? Is it my birthday? Oh, it really fucking hurts.
It is one of the best drunk portrayals I've seen on screen. It's brilliant. I love that. I don't want to say which, but there's the second last of the characters that dies in this film goes out like a fucking boss.
Oh, the kick to the werewolf snout that launches the tooth across the kitchen?
Yeah, that scene is just so much fun. That's such a good
fight scene.
He's just like to the point where he's fucking plates and cups and anything you can at the werewolf, and from the moment that they lose control of the house, the pace kicks up. It's still like a good 20 minutes left of it. Yeah, the last say half hour of the film is just,
like, it is actually a long movie. Surprisingly, it's actually like
it's not super long.
It's 101 minutes.
Yeah, so it's an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes. It feels like it's a lot longer, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It feels like it's a lot longer because they squeeze so much in.
It's paced really, really nicely. You get you get kind of the introduction, which is slow and bantery, and then you get some like mild peril with the cow. Yeah. Then you're going back to them following it. Then big peril. Yeah. Then they get a safe spot and they're kind of setting up and that's when they're getting the lowdown off her over what's going on. And they're then more peril, then trying to fix thingy.
Yeah, no,
it's like it's up, down, up, down, up, down, but it's done in a way, it's almost like they're kind of just keeping it rolling over.
Yeah, no, it's never overwhelming, it never drags.
No.
And that's kind of what it is.
There's a nice tension that runs through it.
And that's part of why I think it feels longer than it is, in a good way, is because that pacing helps feel like they've gotten an awful lot in, because you have these peaks and these valleys of the action. Yeah. And yeah, that's definitely one of the better parts of it.
Because they're never 100% from the moment that cow lands on that fire. Yeah. They're never 100% at rest. No. You know, even though they might be sitting there and eating what might be long pig, because they do say it tastes like pork.
Yeah, they eat a stew that they say tastes like pork, and there's corpses hanging in the basement. They probably ate people. Yeah, which is then another link to our third film, Ravenous.
from the moment that cow lands on that, there is a tension. Yeah. They're always slightly on guard the whole way through it.
And it is the way in which it goes, because it's what the fuck happened with this cow to what the fuck happened with Ryan and his crew to what the fuck is chasing us. And there is always, they're always tense, and they're always playing catch up on information.
Nobody,
on what's going on and what's happening next.
Ryan won't tell them what the fuck is going on at all. He doesn't give them any information. She fills them in a little bit, but she still hasn't filled in everything for them, and they're being drip fed this information.
Plus, they're trying to find out where the werewolves are, where they're coming from, how they can defend themselves, what they have left.
And she's feeding them information
about what she knows from living in the Glen. Yeah,
but every time something goes wrong, she's like, "Oh yeah, but I never told you about this, this, and this."
And I didn't find it too much like that. She does also.
She kind of underplays how intelligent they are.
Yeah,
she portrays them as very like they're this mindless drive to kill on the full moon.
Yeah, she does.
At the
she
start
can muddy
when she's
things at parts.
Yeah.
She definitely can muddy things at parts in this film, and without getting into plot specifics, I can't really go much heavier into details.
She's muddying the information that is pertinent to them.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely, her and Ryan could definitely have come a lot cleaner than they do when they do. But obviously, that's part of what makes it so tense and so fun. But yeah, parts of it does work, and then parts of it, it's like, well, why wouldn't you have said that earlier, or why wouldn't they question
especially
that you're now giving them this information?
The final motivations of various characters, when those come to light, it's like, why didn't you give them all the info at the start? Because it would fucking benefit you.
Yeah, no, like I said, Megan's character is the one that I've liked the least. Yeah. There is some things that answered some questions for me in the trivia, but then it just made me ask the question of, well, why didn't you put that in the film?
It feels like they tried to, it comes across very much as Megan's character was written one way, the studio wanted her another way, and it's like an awkward compromise of the two. Like they shot some parts of this, and then they were like, oh well, we'll do it the way the studio wants it, and it's those two bits spliced together, so there's not a very clear narrative for her arc. And
then because there was those one or two bits that were supposed to be kind of for sequels, that we never got, but they like she cuts her hand and they focus on it, but then it's never mentioned again in any way. That was supposed to be something that would have been a plot point in a sequel. But as for the bits of her motivation that we didn't understand that I kind of saw in the trivia, it just made me think, well, why didn't you just
put that in there?
Even a 30-second exposition dump.
Yeah,
it might not
we will forgive you for that.
Yeah, it might not have been the best way to do it, but I'd rather see an exposition dump that explains a character's motivation than just not have the character's motivation explained at all. And it's not that it's explained at all, but again, it's like with Terry, it's almost like he went too subtle.
Yeah.
And that would be one of my only major criticisms of the film. Major. Anything else would be small.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so much to love that I don't really care about the rest of it.
I really enjoy the innovative use of the surroundings for weaponry.
Yeah.
He gets every single, they're like, go get loads of pots and pan, because they're setting up for essentially a siege. This is where all the Zulu referencing comes in, of them in the hospital trying to survive the night. You've got Night of the Living Dead overtones going on there too. They were just trying to get through the fucking night.
Well, one producer wanted to call this film Night of the Werewolves, which is just the worst fucking name ever.
No, Night of the Lupercalia.
But no, Dog Soldiers is fine. But yeah, the stuff that gets used as weapons in this film.
Just putting all the pans to boil.
Putting on all the pots and pans to boil.
So you've always got boiling water, which does get used when he fucks it at the werewolf, and then Spoon grabs the pot off him and starts beating the werewolf with
pots
it.
And pans getting used. A kitchen sink and a tap.
Oh. Spray deodorant and a lighter.
Yeah, spray deodorant and a lighter. And even at one point, fists versus a werewolf.
Yeah.
And I love it. And again, it's just kind of that manicness and the franticness that
throwing like crockery at them. And they throw everything and the kitchen sink at everything in this.
Yeah.
But it's not done in ways that could be seen as, like, it's not the real slapstick. Like, there's a bit where one of them's wailing on a werewolf with a frying pan.
Yeah.
But it's not done in, like, in most other films, it would be like that real comedic moment of being hit with the frying pan.
Yeah, and as funny as the rest of the film is, those scenes aren't played for laughs.
No.
Those scenes are played for, this is desperation.
They avoid a lot of cliche moments in this, and they twist a lot of moments that would be you know, you've always got, you know, the person who's like triumphant and like, I'm winning, and walking closer to the enemy and getting taken.
Yeah.
There's a couple of moments where you think that's going to happen, but it gets turned on its head.
And one in particular... beautiful in the way you really think, oh, this character's getting like
you're
overconfident,
fucked.
You're fucked, you're about to get taken out.
Bye. Oh no.
And then the way they turn it is great. And that's one of the things Neil Marshall said, is he didn't want to have tropey werewolves, and that's why he didn't focus on them too much.
Well, he also made a very conscious decision that instead of having stunt performers in the wolf suits,
dancers.
They're dancers, because dancers can move their bodies in really weird ways consistently. And the way the werewolves move in this are very elegant.
Oh god, yeah.
They're really, really graceful, and there's a liquid kind of quality to the way they move. Even though they're vicious and snarling. Yeah. On the top landing when he comes through the smoke, and even though it's running, it's still beautiful to watch.
It is, and that's one of the things that he said that he wanted to kind of avoid was like this idea of like, you know, the artfulness and the beauty of the monster, but there's still a few bits where that kind of comes across. It's done well, but it's really not a tropey or a cliche-y film, and he does play with a few tropes and cliches in really fun ways as well. I just cannot praise this film highly enough.
It's a great time from start to finish. Like, it is gory. If you're not good...
Oh, yeah, it's gory. It's not excessively
It's not actually
gory.
overly gory, yeah. Just think about it. There's just lots of piles of things.
Yeah, there's lots of intestines and stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, it's not ridiculously gory. And it definitely, I think, I was going to say it has a bit of something for everybody. There's no romance, but...
Who cares?
Yeah, it's a
very, very fun film. If you're looking for a black comedy, this is one for you. Yeah. Every other black comedy that I watch, this is the one that I measure it against.
It's so funny. It is so funny. But again, it's that I think was one of the reasons why it's so charming, because there's so many aspects to it that, like we've banged on about, the how good the soldiers are.
Yeah.
And it is this kind of, it's this really believable soldier werewolf film, but it's also fucking hilarious too.
It is.
And it's also a good gory. It's a good horror as well.
Yeah, it's a really good action film too.
Yep, it like
there's
I say,
a lot of shit blows up in this film for it being a very small set. Like, they're in the forest, then all the rest of it, they're in a farmhouse. There's a Range Rover and there's a barn. And somehow they managed to blow the fuck out of, like, most of it.
I think he just definitely wanted to include some explosions in his first feature film. It's my first feature film. Maybe it might be my only one. Blow some stuff up. No, but it works. It's again, tied into the pacing of the film, where they have...
It's the last call of a desperate man. Blow it up.
Yeah, basically. And there is a beautiful Sean Pertwee bit in regards to one of those explosions with the Molotov cocktail.
Ah, yes. It's his moment it's his triumph.
Yes, it is. It kind of is, alright. I was going to say it's not quite the main triumph, but that would definitely be spoiler territory. Yeah. But before we go into anything really spoilery, we should probably wrap up.
Yes. It is, if you've never seen it and you've heard about it, watch it. If you've never heard about it, watch it.
If you've watched it, watch it again.
If you like a werewolf film, because this is very much a straight werewolf film. They're not trying to do anything fancy with it. There's werewolves, they're attacking these guys, they're trying to survive. That's it.
Yeah, in the sense that
it's not like Underworld Rise of the Lycans, which is giving you a history of it. It's not like An American Werewolf in London, which you watch for that transformation scene, which is like the diamond of that.
Yeah, it's not trying to do anything different with the werewolves.
There's werewolves, there's soldiers.
It definitely does something different. Because it's unlike any other werewolf film I think I've seen.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of soldiers versus zombies films and things like that, and you rarely get soldiers
unless you're watching Teen Wolf, which was werewolf versus Nazi alpha werewolf.
I didn't watch Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I did.
But it's such a damn fun film. It's quirky, it's different, it's really entertaining, it's really funny. Just fucking go and watch it.
Yes.
And if you've watched it already, go and watch it again.
Yes.
And if you've watched it again, watch it twice like we did. God damn it. It deserves it. It really does. It really does. And shit.
What?
We did a comedy. We've just done a comedy.
Balls.
God damn it. Now I can't say that we're going to, make the joke of how
it
we're going to cover a
straight
comedy.
It's still a comedy. It might have been a comedy, but there was still a lot of like blood and guts and stuff in it.
Yeah, I laugh a lot during this film though.
Yes.
But I can't make
There's
the joke.
There's also a lot of, hang on, go back, I want to see that again.
Yeah, but now I can't make the joke about how we're going to cover a comedy film next week.
Next time we'll do a romance.
No, we're never going to do a fucking rom-com.
Alright.
Although, well, Love and Monsters was kind of fun.
Love and Monsters was kind of fun.
That was kind of a rom-com. Certainly the closest thing to a rom-com I'd be willing to go. Oh shit, no, Extraordinary is definitely a rom-com. Yeah, okay, but never a straight rom-com.
Oh no,
I don't think that will ever happen.
No Nicholas Sparks crap up in here.
And as usual, we definitely have no idea what we're covering next week.
Well, we're coming up to the release of Diabolical, so...
Well, we haven't decided how we're going to cover Diabolical either. So, as to what way our release schedule will run when Diabolical comes out, we're not entirely sure. You'll definitely still get MonoRants on a Monday, as per usual. You might get a couple of extra drops if we do individual episodes of Diabolical.
Again, it's very much going to depend
on Diabolical. Yeah, but we'll definitely keep doing MonoRants at the movies because Diabolical is only a short release. We'll have it covered.
Do you know what? Fuck it. Next week will we do Extraordinary? We'll do a little Irish film. I think we should.
The week that Paddy's Day is out, we'll release Extraordinary. We'll have Extraordinary recorded and ready for release for Paddy's Day week.
Yeah.
And that will definitely be
And if any of you call it Patty's Day, I will come to your house and I will kick you square in the face.
For American listeners, it's Paddy's Day, not Patty's Day. I'm sure you've been told that before in the past, but hey, look.
It's our fucking holiday.
yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, we'll do Extraordinary for Paddy's Day. And in between then and now will be probably just a Diabolical release.
Yeah.
In fact, I think this episode might actually go up after Diabolical.
Yeah.
But hey, look, we'll let you know what the story is. And in the meantime, guys, thanks for joining us. And we'll be back next week with something, one way or the other. And you can check out our first couple episodes of MonoRants at the movies if you haven't already. And you can check out all of our episodes of MonoRants the Boys. And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, send us an email, the usual stuff.
Pigeon.
Yeah, cool.
Pigeon post.
Pigeon post.
Preferably wood pigeon because
they taste better.
Yeah.
Yes, send us messenger pigeons and dinner. And we will be back next week. Talk to you then, guys. Bye-bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are MonoRants.
We are One Chord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Sci-Fi.